Oh my gosh, we're back at Disneyland Paris! And look at Mickey covered with snow! Dude, this is so exciting because for the first time in 5 years, I'm back at Disneyland Paris during Christmas time, which is exactly the season it was. The first time I ever came here, and most of the subsequent times as well. So I'm feeling over the moon right now at coming home for the holidays on the other side of the world. To me, this is the most beautiful Disney park. I've been here in every season but summer. But my absolute favorite is Christmas. Now, if you don't know me, I grew up right next door to the original Disneyland in California. So obviously I have a heavy bias towards my home park, but nothing gets me pumped for the holidays like Christmas at Disneyland Paris. For one thing, the temperature is right. It's freaking freezing out here. You can still see clumps of snow everywhere from when it was snowing the other day. And for another thing, the decorations are insane. It has to be the best decorated Disney park of them all when it comes to Christmas. And although I'm tired and jet lagged and I was on the train all day coming here, I could not be happier. And dude, would you look at the size of this Christmas tree? Ah, yes, Disneyland Paris. We're back. And not only to me is this the best decorated park, not only does it have some of my favorite Disney rides anywhere, but this place has my favorite Main Street USA and my favorite Disney castle to boot. I mean, look at this Main Street. It's very similar to the one in Orlando in terms of size and scale. I mean, some of the buildings are almost identical, but when they built this place in the early 90s, they went absolutely all out. The theming is incredible. Look at the advertising signs up there. Look over on your left. That cup of coffee has a little steam coming out of it. The Emporium has these very strange French greeters in front of him. This guy wasn't here for years. He was missing for a while. But this is my old friend, Jacques Berly. Ah, it's good to see you again, friend. Ah, my buddy old pal. Oh, you're covered in soap. Oh, I forgot. They do the fake Disney snow here, too. I actually wonder if they were doing that the other day as well while there was real snow falling out here. Oh my gosh, it is beautiful today. Also, easily the most crowded I've ever seen Disneyland Paris during Christmas time that I used to come. The park looks clean, fresh, there's decor everywhere. Look at all the beautiful holiday garlands and lights. There's Christmas bulbs on everything. Every single window display is adorable. You've got that great Christmas background music playing up and down the road. And I just love all the little touches that make Main Street USA so different here in France. Like the end of this little center street over here with the Dapper Dan's haircuts. And look at someone's actually getting their haircut in there right now. The beautiful little Coca-Cola delivery truck, which is a deliberate throwback to the old Carnation delivery truck that used to be parked in a similar spot at Disneyland in California, the original. Oh, and this is the best. Behind the shops on Main Street USA here, they have covered walkways, just like the real city of Paris, called arcades. And they put these here so you can get out of the rain and the snow. It often rains here, and sometimes snows. There's one on each side of Main Street. Each one has a different theme. This one's themed to the Statue of Liberty. And as a big Liberty fan myself, I can really, really appreciate that. Look at this little diorama in here. How creepy and fun. They have fixed up so much of this stuff since I first came here. You couldn't see this at all back in the day. Now it's all working. It's all lit up. The guys are looking terrifyingly real in here. I am not kidding when I say I would come to Disneyland Paris just to walk down Main Street, just to hang out in the arcades. I would pay the ticket price just for that. I mean, look at this. Look how glorious. The fake Disney soap snow is falling. There's loud, exciting music. People are dancing in the streets. Dancing, 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 dancing. It is so fun and beautiful out here. This is awesome. See, we didn't miss the snow in Disneyland Paris after all. I just love the way that it's the familiar Main Street USA, but plussed up considerably. Like, look at the little cafe seating outside, very French. All of the architecture and the details are over the top because, of course, we're, you know, an hour away from Paris. Europeans have beautiful, incredible architecture up here. So if you're going to impress them, you've got to go the distance. So everything, like even the grading pattern on this door right here, is just a little plussed up. It's like America if America went crazy. There's like multiple little restaurants and food areas on Main Street itself. Like, look at this. This is Walt's restaurant, and it's way more so than California or even in Florida. What's happening? Music is already playing again. Dude, that was like a 5-minute gap and there's already more Christmas music and more Disney snow. This is amazing. Anyways, you can imagine all the shops here are very different than back at home. Some of the merch is different. We might look at that later. Right now, I'm just basking in the glow of Christmas on Main Street, USA at Disneyland Paris. And then in a minute, we're gonna head into the park and check out some of my favorite rides ever. Oh my gosh, that's awesome. Look at the way even the insides of these restaurants and shops are so elaborately themed, much like the original Disneyland used to be. Like this reminds me of the inside of the old Swift Market House that actually had general store theming. I won't go on and on boring you with how many references to the original Disneyland there are here today. I'll save that for a future visit when we have some more time, but suffice it to say, that's what I mean when I always say that Disneyland Paris reminds me of how Disneyland used to be. It captures the spirit of Walt Disney's original idea, unlike any other park I can think of. All right, we only have one day. We might not even be able to stay till close, so let's get into it. Because as much as I adore the finest Main Street USA in the world, I am equally, if not more, blown away by my favorite castle in the world.
Le Château de la Belle Bois Dormant.
AKA Sleeping Beauty's castle. There's just no bad angle of this thing. I mean, this thing is gorgeous. It's so inspiring. It had to be. They have real castles in France. The scale of it is massive. The quality of it is top notch. A lot of real stone was used in the construction. It is just so gorgeous. But before we even get to the castle, there are so many little sneaky pathways beautifully decorated around the hub with character meet and greets. The Main Street vehicles are absolutely adorable and just have just a hint of Frenchiness or Europeanness about them. Not to mention, look at the decorations. Look at that Victorian or Edwardian copper and brass roof over the popcorn cart of all things. It's just the best. It's just the best. Just this park-like atmosphere. And look at the detail on the fountain there. That's something that looks like it could be in the city of Paris. I mean, it's gorgeous. You got the last little bit of fall color on the trees because we're still in sort of late mid-November. I would definitely say Christmas is the best time to come to Disneyland Paris. Although I must say I'm used to coming in December and it's a lot less crowded than I did not know that in November is sort of the last big travel month in Europe before the real snows and ice set in. Oh gosh, it's good to be back. Now, of course, we've got Frontierland, we've got Adventureland, we've got Discoveryland, each one very different from any of the lands in the Disney parks in America. We'll be venturing into some of these very soon to get on some of my favorite rides on Earth. But first, we have to go say hello to an old friend. We are heading down into the dragon's lair, La Tanière du Dragon. That's right, Disneyland Paris's castle has got caves underneath with an absolutely massive dragon inside. Calme-toi. That's better. It's just us. Just relax, it's your old pal, Justin and Allie. Dude, it's so cool in here. I can actually see better on the camera than I can in real life. It's so dark down here, it's awesome. And look at this, if you climb up these stairs, you can get up inside the castle. How cool is that? Dude, this is the best park, just for the scenery and the detail alone. Just love being here so stinking much. Look at that, you got the Christmas shop. You've got Merlin's little chamber over there. You can actually go upstairs and experience the whole story of Sleeping Beauty. I mean, look at the beautiful stained glass windows. C'est magique. C'est magique. And then when you're all done up here checking out the storyline, you can head out onto the back balcony and get your first view of Fantasyland, the most elaborate Fantasyland of them all. All right, I'm already starting to get carried away, and we don't have time to get carried away with every little detail in the park. I have filmed dozens of videos here before going into great detail. I mean, I filmed every single ride here multiple times, so you can go back and check all those out. Nearly 10 years of filming here at Disneyland Paris over and over. Especially if you're used to Disney parks in America, everything is different. Everything is more unique, more elaborate. Of course, when I say everything's more elaborate, I mean everything, not just Fantasyland. So let's head into Frontierland, which, by the way, is packed with more Old West detail than most of the real-life Old West towns I've been to. It is one of the absolutely most gorgeous places I've ever seen in any theme park ever. Look at the Molly Brown riverboat over there, the rivers of the Far West, Big Thunder Mountain on an island. This is fantastic. Now, we were gonna do our first ride over here. In fact, we just had 2 objectives today. We're like, okay, even if we only have time for 2 rides, it'll be fine. Because they're my absolute favorite 2 rides maybe on the planet. And the first one of those 2, unfortunately, is down for a short refurbishment that just happens to coincide with the week we're here. Oh, the Phantom Manor. It's basically an Old West version of the Haunted Mansion. In fact, it might honestly be even better than the Haunted Mansion. It's so weird, so unusual. Luckily, Allie and I were here last Halloween and we got to ride Phantom Manor and film it a whole bunch of times. If you want to see a detailed look at it and you want to see what Disneyland Paris looks like on Halloween, literally on Halloween day, go back and check that out. Not gonna lie, I'm a little disappointed, but you know what the French say, c'est la vie. Well, since that's out, let's leave Frontierland actually, because my other favorite ride, and maybe my favorite ride on the entire planet, is definitely still open today. I'm a little bit sad about Phantom Manor, but I'm gonna make up for it right now. First, we just need to head into Adventureland. And obviously the weather is much different here, the climate. And this Adventureland not only has different plants in our more tropical California or Florida plants, but the architecture and the theming is much more North African, Middle Eastern. One, because Tony Baxter, the sort of lead designer of Disneyland Paris, is very inspired by Tales of Sinbad. And 2, because if you've ever been to Paris, you'll know there are a lot of people here from North Africa, you know, Libya, Algeria, places like that. So I love that the entrance to Adventureland has this whole different vibe, just absolutely, completely different. We have a tiny little bit of this, like a touch of this, at the original Disneyland. There's just so much more of it here. Disneyland Paris is huge. I think it's still the biggest Disney like castle park, kingdom park, in terms of like total area and walking paths. It has fewer rides than say Disneyland has. Way more pathways and intimate themed little spaces. And what they lack in rides, they more than make up for in kind of themed walk-through attractions. So like Adventure Isle here is sort of like their Tom Sawyer Island, but way more extreme. So this is where they have their Swiss Family Robinson treehouse. There are like, it feels like miles of caves down there. There are rocks to climb on, waterfalls, suspension bridges. There's a shipwreck over here. I mean, it's absolutely phenomenal. Not to mention Captain Hook's Jolly Roger and Skull Rock. I mean, look at that. It's awesome. I mean, that's absolutely incredible. The waterfalls coming out of the mouth. But let's face it, most of us are here at Disney parks for the rides. And although I love this theming, and it is so elaborate, as you can see, if I have a chance to go and see the greatest ride of them all, Disneyland Paris's Pirates of the Caribbean, I am going to do it no matter how long that line is. Even just the queue for this Pirates, the outside and the inside, is much more elaborate than either of the rides in America. And this ride has a whole completely different layout inside. It is totally different and yet comfortingly familiar. I don't know how much we're going to be able to see because they're going to be packing those boats pretty tight. This line has been pretty long. But I'd rather sit in the middle of the boat behind someone's head than not get on this thing at all. Because like I say, it's easily my favorite Disney ride of all time. Oh my gosh. Forgot how freaking awesome this line is. And I hate lines. All right, into the boats, matey. Dude, look at even the cast members' costumes are next level. This is awesome. We got the front. All right, here's a little taste of Pirates. There isn't even anyone behind us, like in the row behind us. Normally they pack you in with strangers. All right, dude, look at this. At home, we have the Blue Bayou. Here in France, we got the Blue Lagoon, basically. Uh-oh. People behind us taking flash pictures. And look at this restaurant over here. Captain Jack's. So cool. Oh man, this is awesome. Yo, ho, a pirate's life for me. Look at this huge ship right here. Oh, this reminds me. They added something to the original Pirates of the Caribbean in Anaheim. They added an octopus in one of the scenes. But the original Pirate's octopus was installed right here, right down here. Disneyland Paris. Look at that thing. Weird. Man, cameras have come a long way, you guys. You didn't used to be able to see anything in here on camera. So awesome. Okay, there's a lift hill in here. It's kind of wet. The last time I was here, they still had Davy Jones at the top of this hill, the little projection that they've gotten rid of at some of the other parks. Here, look at the chain, look at this lift mechanism. Boy, is that water loud. This is awesome. Look at the blinking eyes. Hey, it's Blackbeard. French. And then this is awesome. Look at the top of the lift hill. Just for a second before you go in this fort, you get a glimpse of the pirate ship down there. So freaking cool. please. What's a pirate ride without a little fire, a little mayhem, a little violence? Look at the guns over here shooting. Oh, and there's a pirate with a gun right there. I guess he's broken right now, but they also have a swinging pirate. Oh, he's missing. Weird. I love this. Listen to the French. I love the way that it's on both sides. Surrounded by pirates here. And then, at the end, a little drop. Here we go. And then look at that. Pretty ship. The black dude up there. Dude, French pirate. It's the best pirate. So awesome not to have Barbossa up there. Nothing wrong with Barbossa, but sometimes I get a little tired of him. I always forget Paris's Pirates was the first one to get the new auction and to get the new redhead. She doesn't talk here. She was the first one with a gun. Oh, this is awesome right here. Look at these guys sword fighting. So cool, so bizarre. It's kind of weird that this Pirates was the last one to get Jack Sparrow, but the first one to get the redhead, the new redhead. Look at the rum bottle over there. Dude, so cool the way it's so similar, like I said, and yet so distinct, so different. Awesome. California in the original Pirates, this would be where the ride pretty much ends. You head into the dungeon scene. But here, whoa, underneath old Dirty Foot, we actually head down another drop. And this one is so exciting, you could say it's explosive. Oh, and when you're going down this little drop, make sure you make a funny face, because they also take your picture right here. Here we go. I have no idea what kind of face I was making. I think my eyes were closed. Oh, look at that skull up in the rocks. Oh, I forgot about this. The seagull and Captain Barbossa. Okay, that's pretty freaking cool. Yeah, see, for those of you who haven't been to California, the original Pirates begins with the cave scene and with the dead pirates. By the way, the train comes through here at Disneyland Paris. So you can actually peek into this scene of Pirates of the Caribbean via the train. Yeah, but this one ends with the skeletons. By the way, that's actual Johnny Depp. I believe he lived in France. He was sort of a native French speaker. All right. That's it, guys. Pirates of the Caribbean, en français. Awesome. My favorite ride. My favorite Disney ride on the planet.
You better keep to your seats if you know what's good for you.
Dude, that was so stinking fun. Totally worth the train ride, totally worth the price of admission. Main Street, USA at Christmas, and now Pirates. Let's see how that picture came out. Oh, lame. I forgot they put the stupid watermarks over it now. I knew I had my eyes closed. Well, you have your eyes closed too. Even Steven. Oh, yeah, and then I forgot how you exit through the best gift shop ever. If you're into pirate stuff, This one is a doozy. It's just that next level theming, that decor, you know? The fact that you really feel like you came out into a pirate tavern. The cast member costumes, props, the environment, the ride. This is what makes Disney good. Storytelling, really good environmental storytelling. I feel like they've been getting worse at it lately. I don't know if that's just budget decisions or what. Famously, Disneyland Paris was not a real moneymaker at first. See, they spent so much money doing it right from the beginning that it has lasted now more than 30 years, and the world has started to catch on about just how awesome this place is. And now it's so popular with Europeans. I mean, it's gotten more popular just in the last 10 years that I've been coming. The crowds have gotten thicker and thicker, which of course is bad for me, but it's good in the sense that people have finally caught on and realized like how brilliant this park really is. The only unfortunate part is that they built it in France, where it is freaking freezing right now and so windy. They almost built it in Spain, but apparently Michael Eisner's wife liked to shop in Paris. So, I mean, I guess really I should thank her, because my friend that lives in Paris is the one who brings me here every once in a while. If this place was in Spain, it'd be a lot warmer, but I might have never got the chance to go. Gosh, so many cool little funky spaces. I want to explore them all again, then I keep reminding myself, oh, we only have the one day. And since Phantom Manor was closed, maybe we should get on a classic dark ride next instead. Peter Pan would be good, but it's very similar to the one in Florida. Pinocchio is always good because it's in French, and there's something really funny about Jiminy Cricket being like, hey. Other than the French, though, it's pretty much identical to the Pinocchio ride we have back in California, minus the fact that they still have their Geppetto's toy shop, like I showed you guys last visit. The other classic dark ride they have here, they used to also have at Disneyland, Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, only at Disneyland they changed it now from Snow White's Scary Adventures to Snow White's, like, I don't know, Enchanted Adventures or whatever it is. French Snow White is still very much scary inside. So although the line is quite tasty today, I think we might jump in for at least one more ride. Time for a little Blanche-Neige et les Sept Nains. Only in Paris would the trash can have its own room in the castle. I want to go on the ride. I want to go on the ride now. Why do I have to wait? It'd be fine if there were just heat lamps. It'd be like one nice heat lamp. Steal one from the Olive Garden. Ooh, murdery. At least the theming is good in this line while we wait. Yeah, pretty cool. Very similar to what's at Disneyland. Ooh, look at that poison palm. Oh, and there's the murder box. It's crazy that these ride vehicles have 3 rows instead of 2 like at home. It makes getting the front so rare. They're doing a show out this window, like dancing around the Sword in the Stone. They've got the 3 fairies and all these other dancers, and they have Sleeping Beauty up on the castle. And we're stuck in this line. It's almost our turn. Here we go. All right, here we go. It's mostly very similar to California, you know? I always thought it was a little plussed up, like there were a few scenes that were a little bit different, a little bit better. Always had this bizarre happy ending with these mannequins, which is the only way I can describe these characters. I mean, look how different that Snow White looks than the one in the beginning in the cottage. How weird is that? Paris. Someone told me they used to have those mannequins or similar ones in Magic Kingdom. Not sure if that's true. Never saw it for myself. It was gone before I ever visited the Magic Kingdom. No, wait a minute. That's not true. I think it was technically around the first time I went to Magic Kingdom in 2010. But someone told our group, like, oh, it's the same exact one you guys have at Disneyland, so we didn't ride it, and then it was gone. Okay, well, on previous trips to Disneyland Paris, especially like, 9 years ago, 2015, 16, I was here for 2-3 weeks at a time sometimes. So again, if you're interested in Disneyland Paris, we've got a whole bunch of episodes showing just how weird and unusual and incredible and over the top this place is. Like, look at Snow White's cottage inside of a gift shop. You come through the gift shop, you see the beautiful cottage with a little stream in front of it. The animals are doing the laundry, and then when you go inside the cottage, there's even more gift shop. And for me, it's all the props. There's so much set dressing. Everything from their mining tools, their dirty dishes and candlesticks, to the dwarves' chairs, and even over here. Those aren't shelves down there. Those are the dwarves' beds. Look at that professor. They got Timmy Joya, that means happy. And there's Dopey's bed. They call him Simplet over here. They don't pronounce it like that, but I like to. I think it's like Simple or something like that, but Simplet. It's pretty nice. That should be my nickname. Anyway, like I said, I wasn't kidding. And we only have a limited amount of time in Disneyland Paris today. I wish we could explore everything together again. My dream is that one day I'll be able to return for another one of those long visits. But before we take off entirely, we might as well go over and check out Discoveryland. We didn't even set foot over there yet. Oh, if we can ever leave this store. It's so awesome. Dude, it's such a tease. This trip and the last trip, just getting to come for one day each time. There's so much to see, and they have so much new merch. We don't have time to go show all that today. I don't even think we're gonna get to see the Christmas parade or the Fizzleworks, their version of the fireworks. But I'm definitely getting pumped up that if I ever get the chance to come here for, multiple days at a time again, I'll have so much to show you. I want to go crazy. All right, good old-fashioned Discoveryland. Baxter's Steampunk Tomorrowland. They got Buzz Lightyear's Laser Blast, where you can hear Buzz talking French. They've got the Orbitron, the original of the Astro Orbiter. They now have at Disneyland in California. The amazing Jules Verne airship. They've got their own version of the Autopia. They've got their own version of Star Tours here. Maybe best of all, as far as rides are concerned, they've got Hyperspace Mountain. That used to be Space Mountain Mission 2. Sort of a steampunk Space Mountain, which is way more intense than our Space Mountain. There's a loop-de-loop in there, a little corkscrew action. It's awesome. I definitely love that ride, but what I love more about Disneyland Paris are the unusual, weird things they don't have in any other parks, like the walkthrough attractions, including the mystery of the Nautilus. Instead of a submarine ride here, you actually enter just over there and head down into a 20,000 leagues under the sea walkthrough attraction. So perfect. Jules Verne was French. Combine that with Disney, combine that with Disneyland Paris, and you just get one of the weirdest, most surreal attractions, whoa, better watch my step, you've ever imagined. Look at this, like they have a tunnel under the ocean. Come on, Allie. We got a date to keep with Captain Nemo. Look at that. This is it. Like we're walking inside. They have everything in here. Look at some of Captain Nemo's treasures. It's like a compartment of ballasts. That's some ballast right there. All these funky little side hallways. Got Captain Nemo's quarters in here. Look at that fancy little bed he's got. I thought Captain Nemo was Indian, but apparently he was European because he was awfully short. It's just filled with so much detail. And if you grew up here, I'm assuming they must teach Jules Verne in the schools. France, right? I would assume so. If you're a Jules Verne fan or just a fan of fantasy period, coming in this fantasy steampunk submarine, checking out the charts to get to Vulcania, or checking out this, look at this. A little diving area. You take your old-timey diving suit and head under the water. I mean, this is absolutely a dream. And yet the French look unimpressed. Don't mind them, that's just their way. This is the best though, as you come around here. Look at this beautiful compartment. At the end of it, you have Captain Nemo's organ. Look at that. It is absolutely incredible. They had the props from the original Disney live-action 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea movie on display in the original first version of Tomorrowland when it first opened in 1955. So once again, Disneyland Paris is more like the original Disneyland than the original Disneyland is now. Now, normally Captain Nemo's face appears in this little window here. I've been standing here for a while. It hasn't popped out yet. But anyway, before you even reach that, there's this amazing observation window out the side of the Nautilus. And if you wait here long enough, you just might see the Kraken.
Ouverture de l'iris.
C'est une mère avec son petit. Malgré sa taille déjà imposante, je dirais que ce baleineau n'est âgé que
That's
de
everybody's
quelques mois.
mother-in-law. Everybody looked so mad. They were all waiting for the Kraken.
These sea turtles must find the Nautilus.
Sea turtles.
Avec leur vision très
They'll
perçante,
have a hard time keeping
We don't
up
want
with the
sea
Nautilus.
turtles, we want the freaking
considérons-nous maintenant que
Kraken.
c'est une vraie.
What if they, the Nautilus has company?
Oh no, dolphins.
Magnifique.
All right.
Ils sont réputés comme certains
They
des
changed this
mammifères
up.
les plus
What
intelligents
is
de la
going
planète.
on here? They did do a big refurbishment. It was closed, I think, the last time I came here.
Extremely social.
I don't remember seeing dolphins before. Okay, what happened to the Kraken? We want the Kraken. They need to bring that guy back. Dare they try to make this educational? I wouldn't mind them adding to it if they just kept the Kraken, you know? Looks like the engine has stopped. Maybe we should get out of here. Here's the exit right here, or in French, sortie! So bizarre, so funky, so weird to have these walk-through attractions, and there are many more. There's an Aladdin one, there's one through the whole fort over there in front of Frontierland. They have Alice's Curious Labyrinth over there in Fantasyland, so there's a whole Alice in Wonderland walk-through with a little castle, all of which you can find in our other Disneyland Paris episodes, and all of which I want to film again. So we'll have to come back, somehow, some way, someday. Unfortunately, for now though, my friends, our Disneyland Paris adventure together is at an end. We're only in Paris because we were invited here to fly back with a friend of mine. Like I said, I didn't even know if we were gonna make it to Disneyland Paris on this trip, but we got this one day. Fortunately, with the sun going down, we've got to be back in the city of Paris like ASAP, but if you missed it yesterday, we just went in the catacombs of Paris. That's where they put all the human remains underground in the old limestone quarries. The day before that, we were checking out Amelie filming locations and going to the Frenchiest part of Paris that we could find. And whether it's Walt Disney World in Florida or Las Vegas or entire Route 66 or cross-country American road trips or just the original Disneyland back home in California, there are tons of adventures ahead. Make sure you're still subscribed. Check the links down below in the description. We've got all kinds of merchandise. My new book is still available in time for the holidays. And of course, best of all, and the best for helping us keep the show on the road, we have a Patreon. All that's down at randomland.com, down in the description. But even if you're just stopping by for this one adventure and we never see you again, which I hope isn't the case, I hope you have a very Merry Christmas and a very happy holiday. And I hope you had fun on this adventure with us today. Now that we've reached the end of the journey, we've done our duty. We can go home and sleep well.
What's cracking?
Get it? What's cracking?
Captain Nemo gets the joke.
I love Disneyland Paris. So many weird walk-through attractions. Who can hate hanging out on the Nautilus, looking at Krakens, watching them come in close and then get shocked away every few minutes or so? I don't know if you guys know this, but I've been using Duolingo. And so I can actually speak French now, unlike when I was here in previous years. Ready? Je vais à Paris en taxi. Je mange une pizza. Ma petit poisson. Je mange une orange. Où est la toilette? I know. I'm like an international man of mystery now. So you should read the book. You should read the book. There's stuff about Paris. Disneyland Paris is in the book. The first time I ever came here. Boy, was it a lot different back then. 9 years? How'd it go by so fast? Anyway, go home, sleep well. Wait a minute, French. Au revoir. What in the world? Couple of Grinchy Santas are here. Awesome. Dude, after we wrapped the video, we realized we haven't been in the Disneyland Hotel since they reopened it. and did a lot of remodeling to the rooms and stuff. They don't have their giant gingerbread cabin out here like they used to in the old days, but they do have a lovely Christmas tree and some very freaky, I mean, the longer you look at them, the freakier they get, some very freaky statues. Maybe he thinks I'm freaky looking. Weird.